Joining us now to discuss is Andrew Siegel, a distinguished law professor at Seattle University and a constitutional scholar. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, how big of a deal is today's decision on presidential power?
It's pretty momentous. It's one of the biggest decisions the court has handed down in quite some time. It overrules a 90-year-old precedent that was kind of the linchpin of how we'd structured independent agencies and the administrative state for many years.
So in very plain terms, how much does this ruling expand President Trump's power over agencies like the FTC?
It vastly expands the power of President Trump, and if consistently interpreted, of every other presidents to come. Congress had worked hard over many years, and the court had supported it generally to create a structure where administrative agencies, the executive, those pieces of the executive branch had some independence, some continuity, some expertise. And this at least empowers, I mean, whether they'll use it, we don't know, but empowers sitting presidents to make wholesale changes of personnel at the commissioner level in all of these agencies. I mean, it's been coming for a while. This has been the trend in the decisions. It's not a huge surprise, but it's a big deal.
How might it affect other independent agencies under the president?
The reasoning and the analysis and the opinion itself seem quite clear that it's going to apply to just about every independent agency. There's one big exception, of course, which is the Federal Reserve, which in another opinion that came down today, a 5-justice majority said is different, has a different history, and has some independence or can have some independence from the president. And they might find one or two other exceptions over the years. But this is meant to be a decision about independent agencies generally, not just the FTC.
What did you make of the dissent, which was blistering? I'm sure you saw Justice Sotomayor's comments in the dissent.
Yeah, I mean, I totally understand where she's coming from and generally agree with her. We worked hard to build on a constitution that's 2 centuries old, to build out a system of government that was balanced, that had expertise, that had continuity, that didn't just turn on the whim of every sitting president. And there were precedents in place, there were reasons in place, and on the basis of some really spurious history, the court jettisons it all.
As a constitutional scholar, what do you make of the positioning and the makeup of the court and the decisions that we've seen recently come from the highest court in the land?
It's pretty staggering. I mean, there are always exceptions, and of course, the Fed decision today is an exception, and a few others are. But this court, more than any other court in my memory, is a partisan court. It's a court that's dividing very consistently on very big issues, 6-3, based on the appointing party of each of the justices. And the 6-justice majority doesn't seem concerned about being out of step with the American public or the constitutional tradition. They have very strong views, and they're pursuing them aggressively.
And what is the impact of that for the country?
I mean, it has a big impact. It has a big impact in terms of the substance of the rulings. Every year there's another decision, whether it's abortion, affirmative action, presidential immunity, the agency's decisions here. Every year there's another decision that kind of uproots something fundamental, and does so really in the name of a court that thinks it knows best about everything. I definitely think that these substantive policies are going to be issues going forward, but the very power of the court and the structure of the court is going to be a big issue going forward. Attempts to limit the court's power, to expand the court, to strip it of jurisdiction, are very much going to be on the forefront of the electoral agenda in the next election.
And then finally, what do you think people should be watching out for next as this ruling sort of gets tested in the future?
I mean, one issue to look at is this was a decision that said that the Congress can't do anything to limit the power of the president to fire kind of high-level agency officials. But a lot of the reasoning and a lot of the language didn't distinguish between high-level agency officials, lower-level agency officials, and mere employees. So a lot of scholars are expecting in the next few years, if the court goes down, some real challenges to things as basic as the civil service, to see if even for regular employees, the court is going to say it's unconstitutional to give people tenure in office and protect them from partisan presidential firings. Wow. So that's a big issue.
Andrew Siegel, law professor at Seattle U, we so appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much.